Tea is piping. Hello everyone, welcome back to Tea Talk with Anne, where we talk all things faith, lifestyle, and wellness. This is a space for vulnerability and truth, so if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe below. I would love to have you join me on this journey. If y'all can't tell by the PJs and the Christmas tree, today is Christmas Eve. I've been 21 all year. I'm about to turn 22 in literally 7 days from now. As I've just been reflecting on the year, I've realized that this year was just so monumental for me, and I've just been learning so much, and I figured why not share 21 things that I've learned in my 21st year. Without further ado, grab your tea, grab your hot cocoa, grab your eggnog, grab whatever you want to drink, and let's talk. Coming in hot at number 1, it is never too late to change your mind. You are constantly learning, you're constantly growing, and it's okay for your desires to change. It's okay for you to change your career path or change the type of people you want to hang around. Number 2. If you are constantly worrying about other people's opinions and what other people think of you, you will lose yourself. You will find yourself being pulled in so many different directions that you will never be able to stay true to yourself. So it's so important that you build a foundation within yourself and you set goals for yourself that align with who you are before you try to seek outside input. Number 3, do not stay in relationships where you are tolerated. You deserve to be celebrated. The people who are around you really do matter. Your community matters. You need people who are going to pour into you, push you to be better, and celebrate you. You do not deserve people who make you feel like you're a burden. Number 4, and I think this one is really so important. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. As an individual, it is so important to have your priorities in order, your morals in order. You need to have boundaries for yourself. It's so important to have non-negotiables. Decide what you want and decide what you will not accept. Number 5, true self-love is saying no to instant gratification for long-term satisfaction. Most people think that self-love is more about eating the donut if you want to eat the donut. While I believe it is great to enjoy yourself, enjoy life, don't always be so strict on yourself. I think true self-love is actually when we make the harder decisions in order to see a greater future. For example, saying no to the donut. I think true self-love happens when we step out of our present and look forward to what's going to help me long term. What is the future me gonna look back and say, wow, thank you so much for doing that. I'm gonna take a little break. First of all, is this not the cutest cup you ever seen? Is it not? TJ Maxx. And then my PJs, like, what? Target. But no, let me stop playing. Let's get back to it. Number 6, if you want to change something physical, you first have to address it mentally. For instance, if you want to lose weight, until you put it in your mind that I am going to lose weight, you will never build up the stamina to actually put in the work to lose that weight. And I think that's like actually one of the most important things that I've learned this year, and it has really pushed me out of my comfort zone in so many areas of my life. I'm actually losing count, so we just gonna go with the flow. Health is wealth. You cannot be your best if you are not treating yourself in the best way. This means taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. This is your vessel. This is your machine. You cannot take care of the things around you if you are not taking care of yourself. It's okay to have goals and it's okay to want more for yourself, but when you begin to idolize something, that can very well lead to your downfall. I think a lot of young women can relate to idolizing relationships and the idea of love. It's just so dangerous because you can find yourself dealing with a bunch of men or women, if it's on the other side, that really just don't align with who you are and don't deserve you. But because you're so obsessed with the idea of love, you somehow trick yourself into believing that the red flags are yellow and that it's okay, and it really just keeps you stuck. Try to figure out what your idols are and try to eliminate them. Number 11, bad company corrupts good character. Who you surround yourself with has a huge impact on how you act, whether you realize it or not. Their characteristics can very easily become yours. Their habits can very easily become yours. I've just learned so much about what true friendship is and how important it is to have people in your life who inspire you and who are headed towards the same types of goals and the same path that you have. Your idea of success should not be dependent on other people. As individuals, I think it's very important that we define what success is on our own. Sometimes it's important to just get alone, get into a quiet place, shut out the world, and really look within yourself and speak to God about it if you need to. You're the one who has to live with the decisions you make. You're the one who has to live with the life you made, and you don't want to end up on your deathbed and look back and be like, wow, yeah, I was successful according to these people, but I don't feel like I've lived. This one kind of ties right along with that one, but if you have God, you have all that you need. I'm so blessed because I have the most amazing community, the most amazing family, most amazing friends, and all of that. But there was a time where I felt very distant from all the people in my life and I was kind of alone, but God really built me up and restored me and showed me that He is really all that I need. I think it's very important for us to find that foundation in God and then let Him build us a tree of life. Good men do exist. I've had such bad history with men that I definitely understand why somebody would want to give up on dating and give up on love, but I'm here to tell you that good men do exist. If you find that you're attracting bad men, it's very important to do inner work and to look at yourself and try to figure out what exactly is attracting the type of men that you don't want. I assure you that when you do the inner work and you really just focus on yourself, you will begin to attract men who more so align with your values and with what you want for yourself. Next one. This one is also tying along, piggybacking off the last one, but just because he's a good man does not mean he's a good man for you. He's a good man, Savannah, but he ain't the one for you. This is a hard lesson, but an important lesson. Sometimes we can meet a man who checks up all the boxes, but something just doesn't click. And I think sometimes when we really focus on our checklist and we compare it to the person and we see that everything seems to be aligning, but even though there's this weird connection between us, we try to ignore that. But it's very important, especially when it comes to love and who you choose to be in a relationship with, that you never settle. There's someone out there for you who is going to make you feel over the moon, and just because he looks good on paper and he hasn't done anything necessarily bad does not mean you still have to go along with it if it's not aligning with your spirit, if it's not bringing you that peace and joy and homey feeling that you should have when you meet your person. Life is very spiritual, and once you realize that, you will realize that most conflicts, you're not necessarily dealing with the person or arguing with the person, but you are dealing with the spirits within them that they may not even realize are there, or that they are not trying to address. It's so easy to be misled and to be used by the enemy when you don't have a solid foundation in Christ. It's okay to slow down and recharge. It's okay to take some time to pour into yourself before you pour into others. Sometimes God will slow you down because He's about to take you somewhere where you really need that rest. I don't care what this world calls you. You are not bound to the identities that you've gotten from other people and other places. I think it's very important to let God define who you are. Let God tell you your purpose. Stop letting people define your life. Stop letting people run your life. You don't have to go out looking for purpose. If you are authentic and true to yourself, your purpose will find you, your people will find you, your tribe will find you, and things will begin to align. But it really takes settling down, doing that inner work, and truly stepping into yourself and not being afraid of what the world thinks. Prayer should always be your first response. I don't want to be someone who acts off of emotions. Emotions are very temporary. They don't always give us the best idea of reality. It's really important to just take a step back and allow God to show you the truth before you react to certain things. I've also found that it's much more peaceful to talk to God about something than to run myself crazy overthinking. Someone can only play in your face as much as you allow them to. This one I definitely had to learn the hard way. I was a very naive person. Really evaluate someone's character. People can say anything, but let their actions define them, and do not allow anyone to stay in your life longer than they deserve based off how they've been treating you. Sometimes to learn, you must first unlearn. Learning and being teachable is a huge part of growth, but sometimes we really have to break down the things that we've allowed to stay longer than they needed to. Sometimes that really does mean unlearning certain things that you've been doing for a long time. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I lost count. I'm hoping this is 21. This one is probably the most important thing that I've learned all year. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you react. There were such hard seasons, such broken moments in my 21st year, but I took everything that was sent to destroy me and I allowed God into those situations, and he turned them into something so, so beautiful. It's important to remember that life does not happen to you, it happens for you, and everything, good or bad, is an opportunity to grow if you switch your perspective and try to focus on what can you take from certain things instead of letting the worst things that happen to you become your story. Yeah, y'all, we hit 21. I'm pretty sure. I'm praying that that was 21. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have my Instagram and my TikTok linked down below. And with that, I'll talk to y'all later. I already ended the video, but y'all, I had to add this one because I just remembered it. But life is not all about a man. There is more to life than a man, and until you understand that, God is not gonna send your man. Period. That's it. Bye, y'all.